Yesterday we did the recapitulation of the haloalkenes and haloarenes unit. Today we are going to start with the next unit recapitulation, that is your alcohols, phenols and ethers. So let's start with that. In the case of the alcohols, phenols and ethers, first do the method of preparation for the alcohols. Method of preparation of alcohols. Now in this case, what we can do, the very first thing that we can prepare them with the help of the alkenes. Now when you are going to prepare them with the help of alkenes, in that case also we can have the two preparation method. The first preparation method is that it can be prepared by acid catalyzed hydration method. Now in this acid catalyzed hydration method, always remember that whatever the addition is going to take place, that is going to take place according to the Markovnikov's rule. Markov's rule. Let's look the reaction. I have taken a alkene. In this, water molecule is being added. It will be a reversible reaction. Directly you are going to get a alcohol. Second preparation method from alkenes can be by hydroboration oxidation. Now when we are having a hydroboration oxidation, in this addition is going to take place according to the anti-Markovnikov's rule. Let's look the reaction over here. PH2, that is your diborane. First of all, what is going to happen? Bond will break, it is going to replace it and boron will come. Then again, in the presence of H2O2, water molecule. So what is going to happen? Your first degree alcohol you are going to get plus H3BO3. Okay. So this is the first method by which we can have our preparation method. Then second method by which we can prepare the alcohols is what? That is your from carbonyl compounds. Now when we are talking about the carbonyl compounds, in this case we can have again the two methods. The first method is by the reduction of aldehydes and the ketones. Now when we are talking or we are using a word reduction, it means that you are going to use a reducing agent. Now when you are going to use a reducing agent, you can use a lithium aluminum hydride. You can use a sodium boron hydride. You can use a H2 in the presence of a nickel or platinum. And in the case of aldehydes, always remember that when you are having a aldehydes, then it is going to give you a primary alcohol. And if you are having a ketones, then in the case of the ketones on reduction, it is going to give you a secondary alcohol. Let's look a common or general reaction. This is a aldehyde. Reduction is going to take place. You can put over here any reducing agent. So directly it is going to give you a primary alcohol. I have taken a ketone. unsymmetrical ketone I have taken. It is undergoing a reduction. Again, you can take any of the reducing agent. It is going to give you a secondary alcohol. Second, by reduction of carboxylic acid. Now, when we talk about the bi-reduction of carboxylic acid and ester, so let's look what is going to happen. Say suppose we have taken a carboxylic acid, simply in the first step, reduction is going to take place, and in the second step, it will undergo a hydrolysis. So you will get the alcohol. First degree alcohol we have got. Say suppose we have taken a ester. So in the case of ester, COOR dash, ester we have taken, it has undergone a reduction. So it is going to give you a mixture of the alcohol. Okay. So these were the two methods of the preparation. Besides this, we have one more method, that is your bi-Grignard reagent. Now, when the Grignard reagent we are using, how it is going to produce? Over here, we can take a aldehyde or the ketone, RMgX. It is delta positive, delta negative. This bond is going to shift over here. Therefore, carbon will get the positive charge. It will come and attach over here. So, first of all, we are going to have the adduct. What will be the adduct? OMgX. Oxygen is going to have the negative charge and your Mg is going to have the positive charge. It will undergo a hydrolysis. You are going to get the alcohol plus MgOH X. So this is the general preparation method I am saying. Now say suppose you want to prepare a, I say that prepare a first degree alcohol or a second degree alcohol or a third degree alcohol. So how we are going to prepare with the help of a RMgX? Let's look over here. Now, in the first step, I am saying I am taking a aldehyde. Hydrolysis will be done in each and every case. If you are taking a aldehyde, then you are going to prepare a primary alcohol, HCHO. Then again, I have taken a aldehyde other than the HCHO. Then you are going to have the secondary alcohol. And in the case, if you are going to take the ketone, then it is going to give you a tertiary alcohol. So, and hydrolysis in each and every case, and as a product, byproduct, MgOH(X). This will also come in each and every case. So this is the general method of preparation in the case of the alcohols. Talking about their physical properties. So physical properties, if you take, we say like we talk about the boiling point, and the boiling point of alcohols are much higher than those of alkanes, haloalkanes or ethers of comparable molecular masses. The reason behind this is what? Because alcohols have the strong intermolecular hydrogen bonding, due to which the large amount of energy is required to break their bonds. And if we talk about the isomeric alcohols, then the boiling point is going to decrease. Why? Because with increase in the branching in the alkyl group, you can say that there will be the decrease in the water van der Waals forces with decrease in the surface area. Therefore, your boiling point will be the highest for the primary alcohol and lowest for the tertiary alcohols. Then the next physical property is the solubility. In the case of solubility, we say that solubility rapidly decreases with increase in molecular mass, as the higher members are almost insoluble in water, but they are soluble in the organic solvent like ether, benzene, etc. And the solubility of lower alcohols in water is due to their ability to form the hydrogen bonds with the water molecules. This solubility of alcohols in water as well decreases with increase in molecular mass. The reason behind is what? Because increase in the molecular mass, the non-polar alkyl group becomes predominant and it masks the effect of polar OH group. This is the two physical properties in which we can expect the give reason question. The second one is the chemical properties of the alcohols. Now, when we talk about the chemical properties of the alcohols, in this case, first of all, let's discuss with the reactions involving cleavage of oxygen-hydrogen bond. Okay, means a bond between them, it is going to break over here. Now let's look the what will be the reactions over here. We can have the reaction with the metals. In the case of reaction with the metals, we take a 2 molecule of ROH, that is your alcohol, and 2 molecules of the sodium. So at first it is going to form the sodium ethoxide. It is going to form the sodium ethoxide. Now, what is going to happen that if say suppose you have taken a tertiary alcohol, then again whatever the whatever the alkoxide is going to form, that is going to be a tertiary alkoxide. The another method is the esterification chemical property. In the case of esterification, we have the RCOOH plus R-OH. So over here we have that ester is going to form plus H2O. If you're going to take the acid anhydride or acyl chloride, in their case also when they are going to react with the alcohol, then they are going to give the esters. So these were the two reactions which are involving the cleavage of OH bond. The another chemical property in which we say that there will be the cleavage of carbon oxygen bond taking place. Now in this case, we say the reaction, the first chemical property will be reaction with hydrogen halide. In the case of reaction with hydrogen halide is what? ROH plus HX, it is going to form the alkyl halide plus H2O. In this, we require a necessary or the presence of the zinc chloride. Then we can have the reaction with the phosphorus halides. Means like the yesterday we have done already PCl5, PCl3, PBr3, PI3. With all these, we are going to have the alkyl halide over here. When they are going to react with the, all of them are going to react with the alcoholic group. Okay. Then the another reaction which we can have is the dehydration. Now when we are going to talk about the dehydration, there is what? That your alcohol is undergoing a dehydration and it is going to form the corresponding alkene. In this, the order of dehydration will be your third degree, second degree and lowest for the first degree. Say suppose we have taken a ethyl alcohol. It has undergone a dehydration. So in the presence of H2SO4, 443 Kelvin, it is going to form the corresponding alkene plus water molecule is going to liberate. Second chemical property, oxidation over here. Oxidation of alcohol involves the formation of carbon-oxygen double bond in which the cleavage of OH and CH bond take place. Means like this is our alcohol. So what is going to happen? The bond will break from here as well. The bond is going to break from here. So it is going to form the double bond over here. Now first degree alcohol if you are going to take, then your first degree alcohol is going to give your aldehydes. And when these aldehydes are further oxidation takes place, then they are going to give you the carboxylic acid with the same number of the carbon atom. If you are going to take the second degree alcohol, then this second degree alcohol is going to oxidize to the ketones. And this oxidation is going to take place in the presence of CrO3. Okay. Then, if you are going to take a third degree alcohol for the oxidation, then remember one thing, that third degree alcohol do not undergo oxidation reaction. The reason behind is what? Because they do not have the alpha hydrogen. But when oxidation is carried under a strong reaction conditions and a very high temperature, they undergo a oxidation, and in this case cleavage of CC bond takes place. For example, we have taken one tertiary alcohol. Now when we have taken a tertiary alcohol, hot concentrated HNO3 takes place. So what it is going to give? Double bond CH2. Then oxidation, it is going to give you a acetone. And again further oxidation is going to take place, then it is going to provide you the acid. Okay. After this, the next chemical property we have a dehydrogenation. In the case of dehydrogenation, your primary alcohols are dehydrogenated to the aldehydes. Secondary alcohol are going to dehydrogenate to the ketones, and your tertiary alcohol, they are going to dehydrogenate it towards the alkenes. So these were the dehydrogenated. With this we finish our alcohols. The next part of this unit is your phenols. When we talk about the phenols can be prepared by the following methods. First is from the aryl halides. Now when they are going to prepare from aryl halides, let's look one reaction over here. We have taken one aryl halide in the presence of sodium hydroxide. Temperature condition is 623 Kelvin, 320 atmosphere. It provides us this. Reacts with the HCl, it's going to give you the phenol. Another method is that we can prepare it from benzene sulfonic acid. So what we do, we take a benzene in the presence of a oleum. It gives you a SO3H, NaOH, H plus, it gives you a phenol. Third one is from diazonium salts. Now when we are going to talk with the diazonium salts, NH2, NaNO2, HCl, temperature condition 273, 278 Kelvin. So it is going to give you a N2Cl, that is your benzene diazonium chloride. Then when you are going to heat it, or you can say warm it, then your HCl and N2 are going to come out and it is going to give you a phenol, the presence of water. Fourth preparation method is from cumene. Now from the cumene, when we talk, what is going to happen, that cumene is oxidized in air to form the cumene hydroperoxide and then it is converted to the phenol and acetone. So what is the formula for the cumene? CH, CH3, CH3. Oxidation, H plus, H2O, OH, acetone is going to get. So these are the general preparation methods for the phenols. Then if we talk about the reactions of the phenol, then we say that acidity of phenol, whatever the acidity of phenol, it is due to the ability to lose hydrogen ion in the form of to form a phenoxide ions. Okay, so this we can explain with the help of our resonating structures. Coming towards the its chemical properties. So it is having a plenty of chemical properties. Let's look over here. If it is done in the presence of first chemical property, reacts with the Na, so minus H2 is going to come. It is going to form a sodium phenoxide. If it reacts with the NaOH, then also it is going to form the sodium phenoxide. If it is going to react with the pyridine, that is will be called as a acetylation. So it is going to form a phenyl acetate. If it is going to react in the presence of a NaOH along a C6H5COCl, means benzylation is going to take place, then it is going to form a phenyl benzoate. If it is going to react with the NH3 in the presence of ZnCl2 at the temperature of 675 Kelvin, then it is going to form a aniline. If a reduction is going to take place, then it is going to form a simple benzene. Undergoing a nitration, then it is going to form a ortho and the para nitrophenol. If it is going to undergo a sulfonation, or before sulfonation, let's take that if it is undergoing a, instead of dilute, concentrated HNO3 in the presence of the concentrated H2SO4, then it is going to form a picric acid. This point you have to remember over here कि अगर dilute लिया है तो ortho and para का combination we are getting, and if you are taking a concentrated, then your picric acid is going to form. If it is undergoing a bromination, temperature condition is 273 Kelvin, then again it is going to form a ortho and para bromophenol. Again, if you are going to take a aqueous bromine, then tribromophenol 246 tribromophenol. If you are going to take the K2Cr2O7 in the presence of a H2SO4, then it is going to form a benzoquinone. Okay. So we can have some commercially important compounds also in this case, like your methyl alcohol and ethyl alcohol over here. Okay. Now the third part of this particular unit is the ethers. If we talk about the ethers preparation method, then your ethers are prepared by the dehydration of alcohols. That is, we take the alcohol in the excess in the presence of the concentrated H2SO4, temperature condition 413 Kelvin. So it is going to provide you a diethyl ether plus water molecule is going to liberate. Talking about the chemical properties, first is a cleavage of CO bond. Now this cleavage of carbon-oxygen bond in ethers, it can be cleaved by the use of reagents like your halogen acid, sulfuric acid, phosphorus pentachloride, etc., which we have already done. If you are going to talk about the halogen acids, ether you have taken, halogen acid you have taken, 373 Kelvin you have taken, so alcohol is going to form over here. Okay. Now, in case that you are using a HI, then alcohol formed, it reacts with HI to form the alkyl iodide over here. Next, another chemical property is the ring substitution in aromatic ethers. In the case of ring substitution of aromatic ethers, like we take anisole. In the case of anisole, it will undergo a bromination. If it is undergoing a bromination, it is going to form a para and the ortho bromoanisole. It is going to undergo a Friedel-Crafts alkylation. Again, it will form a para and the ortho methoxytoluene. It will undergo a Friedel-Crafts acylation. Again, the para methoxyacetophenone and ortho methoxyacetophenone and nitration. Para-nitroanisole and your ortho-nitroanisole. So these are the chemical properties of your ethers. Besides this, if we come under the named categories, named reactions category, then we have the three main reactions over here: Kolb's reaction, Williamson synthesis, and the Reamer-Taimer reaction over here. Reamer-Taimer reaction is what? That you are going to take a phenol over here. It is treated with CHCl3, aqueous NaOH, and at the temperature of 340 Kelvin, then it is going to give you a ONa CHCl2. This is a adduct. Again, making it to react with the NaOH, it gives you a ONa CHO, and then hydrolysis, it is going to give you a salicylic hide. Your another name for this can be the 2-hydroxybenzaldehyde. If I talk about the Williamson synthesis, then alkyl halide, sodium alkoxide, so it is going to give you a ether and sodium halide. Besides this, we have the distinction test for the alcohol. Like if we have the three types of the alcohol, primary, secondary, tertiary, and I ask you that which one is which, identify it. So we can have the first test, Lucas test. Lucas test के अंदर alcohol is treated with Lucas reagent. What Lucas reagent क्या होता है? Lucas reagent is a mixture of the HCl and the ZnCl2. So alcohols are soluble in Lucas reagent and forms a clear solution. Now, if terms appear immediately, if it appears only on heating, then it is going to be a primary alcohol. Another test is the iodoform test. Iodoform test is what? When ethyl alcohol or any other alcohol containing the group, you can say CH3CHOH or CH3CO, then it is going to heat with the iodine and aqueous NaOH or sodium carbonate. The yellow precipitate is going to form. Another third test is a ferric chloride test for the phenols. In this, phenol is going to give a violet colored water soluble complex with the ferric chloride over here. In general, you can say that all the compounds containing enolic group, they are going to respond this test. And the most important point is that whenever you are going to have such distinction test question, it is very compulsory to show the reactions. So with this, we finish the recapitulation of our topic, alcohols, phenols and ethers. Good.